So hello and welcome to You So You. My name is Zoe and this is my channel all about the crafty bits and pieces I get up to. I knit, I sew, I crochet, I spin on a drop spindle, dabble in weaving from time to time and anything else that takes my fancy, quite frankly. Now today we are talking about gifts that you can make from free patterns for Mother's Day, which is coming up in the UK very shortly. So grab a brew and let's get started. Welcome back to any returning viewers, and to any new viewers a very warm welcome to you. Now we have about 3 weeks until Mother's Day in the UK. It falls on the 14th of March this year, which is the 4th Sunday of Lent, as it is every year. The UK uses Mothering Sunday as its Mother's Day, whereas obviously I know in some other countries, the States in particular, Mother's Day is later in the year. So either you're going to have some extra time to make your gifts for your mum, or some of these projects would work well as Easter or spring makes as well. Now I've been thinking about the whole situation at the moment, and a lot of us are not going to be able to see our mums for Mother's Day this year. So I wanted to make sure that each of the projects that I've picked out to share with you today not only can be made up for relatively low cost, so they've at least got a free pattern available for them, but that they are also going to be fairly straightforward to make, so they're not going to take too much time, and they're going to be relatively easy to post. So they're either going to be small and lightweight, or they're going to be lightweight and easy to fold up into a relatively small package in order to be posted. So whilst some of them you're going to need to buy some yarn for, or some fabric for, some supplies, what have you, if you don't have them in stash already, because I know not everybody stashes. I certainly don't have a massive stash. Well, I have a reasonable stash for fabric, but not so much for yarn. So I wanted to make sure that we could post these things out if we were gifting them for Mother's Day or for Easter. So I've got 12 patterns to share with you today, and let's take a look at them. So first up for Mother's Day gifts, we have this adorable winged heart tattoo by Annie Pearls on Ravelry. Now I know it does have the American spelling of mom on it, but that shouldn't be too hard to adjust into a U. It is quite small. It's pictured with the designer's child, and he's quite small, so it's smaller than his head, so it's going to be quite a small project. It's made in worsted weight. I think the wings might be cut out of felt and then attached. So that would be quite a quick and fairly simple project. It's going to package up into a small parcel box, no problem at all. Now, it is only available on Ravelry as far as I can find, so if Ravelry is not for you, you will need to do a little bit of hunting around to find something that would work for this. Lovecrafts does have a crochet pattern, which is a winged heart cushion, but that is a paid for pattern. But it is there if that's something that you'd be looking for. The next pattern is by Coco Crochet Lee, and it's the Easy Dipped Lollipop Slippers. Now this was done last year, so it's quite a new pattern for Marley Bird's Mother's Day blog hop. So there are paid for PDFs which are ad-free available, or you can scroll down on the Coco Crochet Lee website and get to the actual pattern on there as well for free. Again, it's done in quite a heavyweight yarn. It's done up in Aran weight, so that's going to take no time at all to work up. Being soft and squishy, it's going to be easily folded up into a jiffy bag or what have you. So you can probably get away with a large letterpost for that one. And yeah, the paid for versions of the PDF are available on Etsy, Ravelry and Lovecrafts without the adverts and without having to sort of scroll down the web page. I know when I look at websites on my iPad to do a pattern, when the iPad times out and I go back, I then have to scroll back down to my place, which can be a little bit irritating. So if you're in the same position and you want to go for the PDF, the option is there. Our third pattern is another crochet pattern. This time we're going to MJ's Off the Hook Designs for the Cabot Trail Cardigan. Now this is the most limited pattern on my free patterns list that I've got, because the free version is only available for a 40 to 42 inch bust. But that free version is done by means of a video tutorial. So it's very detailed. It includes how to swatch for the pattern. It goes through all the stages, including how to block at the end. So it's a really good tutorial. And there are paid for PDF patterns available which will cover all the other sizes as well. They're available on Etsy, Ravelry and Lovecrafts through the link that's on the blog post at MJ's Off the Hook Designs. It'd be a great beginner crochet pattern. It's done in DK, so it's going to work up quite quick, particularly as it's such an open, lacy fabric that's been used for the design. And yeah, if you're a 40 to 42 inch bust, so slightly smaller than me, although I might be able to get away with it because it's an open front cardigan. Or if your mum's a 40 to 42 inch bust or slightly smaller and wants to wear something a bit more oversized, then the free tutorial will be great. It's about an hour, just over an hour long. And like I said, it goes into everything from swatching to step-by-step making the cardigan, all the way through to blocking it at the end. So it's a great beginner project. Even if you're using the PDF, get the video up and crochet along with the designer, because yeah, that resource is fantastic. The fourth pattern is a knitting pattern, and the pattern for this is only on the blog post for Laylock, so the link to that will be down below. And it is this very cute lace earring jewellery holder. This would go in pretty much any bedroom. It could easily be updated to match a change of decor just by changing the frame or repainting the frame. So yeah, I mean that's got quite a bit of wow factor, but it is such a simple little project. It's just a little square of lace tacked onto the back of a picture frame. So definitely worth a try, that one. Wouldn't take you long to do at all. Pattern 5, we've got another cardigan, another garment coming up. So we're going over to Moogly blog, which is the lovely Tamara. Now I have made up a few Moogly patterns in the past, particularly when I was quite new to crochet. My mum tried to teach me crochet when she taught me knitting. I just didn't take to it until I was quite a bit older and bought a book called Knitting Loves Crochet and did some crochet trims on knitted garments. Then I started developing my crochet skills, and Moogly was a really good resource for that. The patterns are well written, they're nice and easy to understand, and she does videos as well for left-handed and right-handed techniques, so whether you're a lefty or a righty, the resources are there for you. So from Moogly we have the Handkerchief Cocoon, which is a granny square cocoon cardigan, very similar shape to Knitting X Pack's Shrug Hug that I've previously made. It's not going to take you too long to make because it's a relatively simple design. It's going to be easily adaptable for sizing, and Moogly's patterns are always, as far as I can tell, very beginner friendly. There are paid for PDFs available on Ravelry and Lovecraft as well, if you don't want to be scrolling through the blog with all the ads. And number 6 is actually a set of items. It's the Aubrey Spa Set by Willow Yarn. So this is a PDF download direct from their website. The set includes a washcloth, face pads and a little basket to keep it in. So that's a nice little set. It'd be good for Christmas as well, actually, that one. So yeah, so that's a nice little pattern from Willow Yarns. Number 7 is Pinwheel Flowers. Now this is by Frankie Brown on Ravelry. Now, Frankie does have a blog called Frankie's Knitted Stuff, but as far as I can tell, the patterns are only available on Ravelry. I did have a look around to see if I could find them elsewhere. Unfortunately, I couldn't. But Frankie does include on the website a link to a Just Giving page, and through the links on the blog as well as on her Ravelry listings. Because she uses her patterns to fundraise for a charity, which is, I've written it down here, just bear with me while I check my notes. She raises money for the Children's Liver Disease Foundation through donations. So if you do use one of Frankie's patterns and you would like to support that cause, the links are there. For those of you that aren't aware, Just Giving is a British organisation that sends the money directly through to the charity and not to the fundraiser. So if you're using a Just Giving site, you know that the money's going where the person says it's going to go, because Just Giving does it automatically. We've got a couple of organisations that do that over here. So there is that as well. And the pattern itself is free. It's very spring-like, and if you can't send flowers to your mum for whatever reason, because real flowers can be quite expensive, or she might be a bit far away, or you might be worried about the length of time it's going to take for delivery, that kind of thing, this would be a really good option to send a bouquet of flowers instead. Pattern 8 is from Let's Knit, which is a beginner-friendly knitting magazine in the UK. So they tend to do quite simple patterns up through to kind of intermediate patterns, so they will advance your skills through. But this pattern itself looks fairly simple to me. It's a selection of lace knitted lavender pillows, or lavender sachets, whatever you want to call them. I don't think they would take very long to do at all, and what a lovely gift to give your mum, or to keep in your sock drawer. Pattern 9 is from that fantastic free pattern resource nitty.com, and it's Kieran Foley's Seascape Stole, which is nice and light and airy and lacy, and it's made in silk mohair, so it's going to pack up really small. It's going to be really lightweight. It's going to be so easy and quite cheap to post. And with a little bit of experience behind you, a little bit of bravery to do the lace, I don't think this is going to be too difficult, so it shouldn't take too long to knit up either. If you're experienced knitter, this is going to take no time at all, because it's just going to grow as you knit it. Silk mohair can be quite a lot of fun to work with if you've used it before. It can be a bit daunting the first time, I do appreciate that, but even if you're quite new to knitting, give it a try. Get some great results with it. So moving on, for the quilters, we have pattern 10, which is the Flower Garden Pillow. Now this is one that I particularly thought would be good for spring or Easter, as well as for Mother's Day. It would be great as a wall hanging or as a cushion cover. It's going to be great for using up a few bits of scraps left over from other projects. So yeah, I think that's quite a cute cushion there. And there's a few of those, that sort of thing. There's a few wall patterns in sort of similar vein, wall hanging patterns around for quilts that again, that flower garden type idea. And our last two patterns for our Mother's Day gift list are embroidery patterns. So looking at Down Grapevine Lane, we have this lovely embroidered flower bouquet, which is a tutorial on their blog. So that's going to be quite effective. It will look great hung up in a hoop, as is seen in the picture. It will look great done onto a tote bag for your mum to take shopping, or onto the back of a denim jacket if that's your thing. And yeah, they'll take you through step by step the whole process and show you all the stitches that you need for that embroidery. And our final pattern is the Spring Cleaning Stitchette from We Wonderful. So it's another embroidery pattern. It's a great beginner embroidery project. The stitches are all very, very simple. Again, it would work well for Mother's Day. It would also work well as just a bit of spring decor for the home. It's quite a cute little sort of sketched out style of embroidery, and yeah, great for beginners to work with, because there's nothing sort of complicated. There's no French knots or anything in that. It's all quite simple stitches. So there we have 12 patterns that would be great for Mother's Day gifts, but many of them you could also use as spring or Easter gifts as well. So I hope you found that useful. It's given you some ideas for gifts to make for Mother's Day or Easter or spring or whatever you've got coming up, because I know Mother's Day is later in other countries. Now if you've liked the video or you just enjoy my company, feel free to like and subscribe down below and ding that notification bell so that when I next put a video up, YouTube lets you know. And in the meantime, happy crafting, and I'll see you soon. So until next time, bye bye for now.